Problem number 2. When you look at this function, I already kind of know it actually, it looks like an exponential function. And the reason I can tell that is because it's, well, I guess it could be quadratic. I don't know what it is yet. I'll figure that out in a second. But let's start by filling out this formula, or this table. Find the -2 on the x-axis, that'd be right here, and then just tell me what the y would be. In this case, it would be 1. Find the -1, that would be 2. The 0 would be 4. The 1 would be 8. And the 2, oh, that's off the graph. But I bet I can see a pattern. 1 times 2, 2 times 2, 4 times 2. I bet this is going to be 16. So this is an exponential, and the reason that you can tell that it's exponential is because it's a multiplication pattern. Multiply pattern. The second, write the function rule for this graph. You have 2 choices here. You can either do this by hand or you can use your calculator. I think I'll probably show you in the calculator. So here's how you type it in. Stat, enter. Then you'd put in your points. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. And then put in your y values. And then you have to ask your calculator to give you the equation. Now remember, normally, when you first learned how to do this, you would always go to stat calc number 4, but this is not a linear equation. This is an exponential, so it's actually quite a bit down. I think it's number 0, or kind of like number 10. Oh, there it is. I passed it. Exponential. So I push enter. And my equation is y equals 4 parentheses 2 to the x. And just so you know what each of these numbers means, 4 is your initial value, and I got that right here. And the growth rate is 2, meaning that between every 2 numbers, it multiplies by 2. So if you want to do it by hand, you can do it like that. Next part. Is this function increasing or decreasing? Well, if you read the graph from left to right, the line is going up. So since the line is going up, we say that it is increasing. Is this function continuous? If you were to put your pencil on this line, would you have to lift it up? You would not. So this is yes, continuous. What is the domain? A domain, just like the wrapper, domain means x, and what that means is how wide a graph is, and this graph goes forever in both directions. So you can kind of write that a couple different ways. You can say that the domain is from -infinity to +infinity, or you could say that it's all real numbers, because the graph goes forever to the left and forever to the right. The next one is range. Range is the y values, and that means how tall a graph is. So this graph, how tall it is, it's going to start at 0, and it's going to go up forever. So it goes from 0 to +infinity, or all positive numbers. And all I mean by that is that it starts right at this line and then goes up forever. The asymptote, all that means is that this red line will go forever approaching y equals 0. In other words, the asymptote is the x-axis. This graph will never actually cross the x-axis. It'll never go negative.